Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. We're going to be doing taroscopes today. Can you believe it's time for taroscopes again? July went really quick. This is the taroscopes for the sign of Taurus. That's Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising for the month of August 2024. Right? August, the dog days of summer, the sun in Leo. Leo is a fixed sign, just like you are. And it does create a crisis. It creates friction with your sign, and it's a crisis in action. You want to take actions. And with the sun in Leo, the actions that you take are generally creative in nature, sometimes bombastic in nature, right? But, we move forward, we continue. Venus, the ruling planet, your ruling planet, I should say, starts the month in Leo and then shifts into Virgo relatively early. Let me see, I have it right here. Shifts into Virgo actually on the same day that we have a new moon in Leo. Leo, of course, being your fourth house, in your fourth house for Taurus. Really does bode this sense of having to take an action and sort of starting new projects in your home, perhaps in your home base and the like. So Venus moves into Virgo, and if you're starting a project in your home, having Venus in Virgo is actually quite a good thing for you, because Venus in Virgo is willing to roll up her sleeves and do what needs to be done. Venus in Virgo is a very service-oriented energy, and it is Virgo, and Virgo is a fellow earth sign. So you do feel a certain sense of accomplishment this month that perhaps has been, you have felt has been lacking, perhaps. And then at the end of the month, Venus, your ruling planet, moves into the other sign that it rules, which is Libra. So generally not really a bad vibration for you with your Venus in, moving through this month. You do have some squares to Jupiter and an opposition to Saturn. So you're tested, society tests you this month, but you can get quite a bit done. We also have a full moon on the 19th this month. It is full in Aquarius. The Leo Aquarius axis for you is the axis of the 4th and the 10th house. Being an authority in your own life. It deals with your family and the outer world. And there's a square to Uranus, exact square actually to Uranus, still in your sign. Uranus will be in Taurus this whole rest of the year. It does dip its foot into Gemini, I think next year, but then goes back into Taurus. So it's not done with Taurus quite yet. So you're still having these surprising and sort of earth-shaking events. But at this point, it's been there, what, like 6 years? So you're starting to get used to it, although as soon as you think you're used to Uranus, it sort of shows you something different. And so you're really never quite sure. I think you will feel relieved when it moves into Gemini. I don't know how the rest of the people are going to feel, but I think you're going to feel a little relieved once it moves into Gemini. So, but that doesn't happen till next year. So we don't have to worry about that quite yet. So let's take a look. We're going to be doing card reading using the Wildwood Tarot. And then I will pull a Mystic Sister Oracle, which is the oracle I've been using for this round of taroscopes. So let me give this a good shuffle. And I'm trying to get this done. I'm doing this in July, of course. You have to do these things ahead of time, so everything doesn't like bunch up at the end of a month and the beginning of a new one. And we're in the midst of a pretty, for us anyway, an intense heat wave. So I wanted to get this done before it got too hot. So if I start glistening at any point, you'll just have to, I have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. All right, let's see. Listening. If we weren't talking, if we were in a sign not ruled by Venus, I might call it something else, but we like to call it glistening. Oh dear. Oh dear. There we go. We start with the Tower. Now, I didn't mention this, but August is an 8 month, right? It's the 8th month, so it vibrates to 8. We're in an 8 year. The whole year vibrates to 8. 8 is about manifestation, instant manifestation, and also manifestation of the seeds planted in the last 7 years. If we go back 7 years, we're looking at 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and now we're here in 24, and we're starting to harvest those seeds. So for those of us who have planted good seeds, we're harvesting good things, and for those who have harvested seeds of, oh, I don't know, hate, destruction, anger. That's what they're reaping. Fakery, they're being held accountable, and we can see it all over the place, politically, perhaps, and maybe even in your own life, with people who seemed for a long time to get away with stuff, and now finally people are going, wait a minute, right? So that's the energy of the 8. When you add those two 8s together, you get the 16, which is the Tower card. So August is a Tower moment for all of us, and the Tower moment requires us to be who we really are, not who we say we are, not the facades that we create around us to hide our true self. Know thyself. And for those who refuse to do that, who refuse to look at the truth of who they are, they find themselves falling on their head. Now, this is the first card. So there has been some shocking incident that has happened that has shook your very foundations. Like I said, when Uranus is around, even though it's been in your sign for as long as it has, you're like, well, I think I have a handle on this Uranus thing. Those transpersonal planets, you can't handle them. They go beyond our ability to handle because they're beyond the orbit of Saturn, and Saturn is sort of the line. Everything below Saturn, those planets, those energies, we have a handle on. We can have some sort of, I wouldn't call it total control because Saturn has total. Saturn is like the lawmaker. And we're the rule of law, that's what everybody talks about. And with all these transpersonal planets sort of knocking on Saturn's door, and Saturn being in Pisces, which is kind of amorphous in its nature, actually the law is changing. However, it is ascending. And so law is going to be more aligned, in my feeling, less with man's law and more with cosmic law. And cosmic law says, as you sow, so shall you reap. So if you are in this Tower moment, this is a moment calling you to be your true self. Let's see what challenges that. The Queen of Stones, Bear, this is the Queen of Pentacles. You want to, the value of things as a Taurus especially, and you want to hold on to that value. And in a way, there can be a feeling that by letting go of those things that are most important or that you deem to be of the most value, you're sort of giving up perhaps your power, or you're giving up your security. Okay, so there is a sense of your security being, that's what it feels like. You're in this moment of, I thought I knew this. Now it doesn't seem like that's what it is. That kind of feeling. Let's see what's at the bottom of it. The Six of Bows, abundance. So I'm feeling like with these cards that you're concerned with your resources, which of course is a very reasonable Taurus thing to be concerned with. But the Six of Bows, the Six is about balance. There's a need for balance here. So if you cannot see it necessarily as a loss, but as a rebalancing of the scales, perhaps, in the past, you felt like you didn't, this is the Hanged Man card in this deck. It's called the Mirror. It's a mystical card. It's a card where you feel like you don't, like you're stuck in this sort of mystical space that you can't put your feet on the ground. And you can see that she doesn't have feet. She has a tail. So we've had to really sort of swim in this sort of cosmic sea, which for Taurus can be a little bit challenging. So I understand your consternation here. In the sky, we have the Two of Cups. The sky card is a reminder sometimes from spirit. You're not alone. I know that as a Taurus, you can be very self-sufficient. There's a self-sufficiency that in a way is necessary for Taurus. It's one of the lessons of Taurus. How can I be self-sufficient, right? But you have to be reminded that you're not alone in this. If your resources or if your ability to hold on to what is yours is being threatened, perhaps you need to reach out to another person or reach out and make relationships, because if you're just depending on yourself, even though that is an energy of Taurus, perhaps you're limiting yourself. Perhaps it's time for you to reach out. And of course, with Taurus, with Uranus being in Taurus for so long, you probably have not had a choice about that. You can't just do it on your own. 1 minute. Pipe down. My bird must speak to me while I'm trying to do this. And if I close the door, I will melt into a puddle of mush. In the immediate future, we have the 10 of arrows, the 10 of arrows. In a lot of different, in the other cards, not this deck, but this is the 10 of swords, and it means the end of something. And so, yes, there is a certain end of something. Something has come to an end, but in this deck, it says, well, if something came to an end, you need to take one of those swords, or in this case, arrows, and focus it on the future. What is it that you want to bring into the future? So while you may be feeling like your whole world is crumbling, there is a seed for the future there. And the question is, now that you've been disencumbered by whatever it is you were encumbered by, where do you want to go? You get to choose. Where do you want to go? How it's seen from the others, from outside, you're at a decision point. You're deciding where you want to go. What's the next step? Where do you want to walk through this gateway that's being created through choice, right? This Two of Wands actually looks like Gemini, right? The two sides of Gemini, even though this is actually an Aries vibrational card in the system that I use, and it's connected to Uranus. So Uranus is requiring you, and Uranus brings about these tower moments, to move into a new place, maybe a new dimensional frequency, maybe a new goal. You can't really stay where you are. It's time to move on. Let's see your domestic situation. We have the Empress. This is a Venus card, very powerful. Your home, where you put your feet is a powerful place of magic and creativity. This says, imagine what you want to bring forth. You know, security is one thing, but which is very important to Taurus, but holding on to a security sometimes prevents us from being as creative and having the best life we can have. And that's kind of what this talks about. Hopes and fears, the Death card, fearing change, hoping for change. It kind of depends on your situation, right? Outcome, the Two of Arrows, decisions need to be made. Balance needs to come back. There was also this card, the six of which is the Six of Wands card in this deck, about balance. Sixes are about balance. Twos are about balance as well. Let's see if we can pull a major arcana. The Seven of both, saying to clear out your space, get rid of things that are broken. And the Hermit, wisdom, shining your light. You see, he's shining his light. And there's a little wren here. And for those of you who know about animal spirits, wren is about having your voice heard. And Taurus in astrology rules the throat area and the thyroid and your metabolism. So these are things that maybe you need some healing in that space, in that throat space. But it's about sharing your wisdom, moving out of troubled waters, transitioning to calmer shores. The 8, which is the strength card and the vibration of this month, you are strong enough and you will create a safe environment for yourself. But so ultimately, you're going to find yourself in a better position for your stability, for your safety, for your sense of protection. Once you allow whatever this is to let it go, just let it go and focus on your future and how you want to create that. Have friends, bring people into your life. You don't have to do this all by yourself. Maybe you had great imaginings of how things were going to be and you were going to be in total control. But with Uranus in Taurus, we've learned that spirits in charge. All right, let's pick a new home for my bird. What did I say that out loud? Apollo, stop it. Yeah, well, he listens. Oh, and now the cat's coming in. Wants something to say. All right, let me find my Mystic Sisters Oracle. And, oh, it's over there. Okay. Hold on 1 minute. I'll be right back. Gotta roll over here. Apollo, come on, buddy. Close that door. All right. Mystic Sisters. Let's see what the Mystic Sisters have to offer for Taurus. A little advice for Taurus from the Mystic Sisters. Come on, they started with the Tower card. What does Taurus need to know? Apollo. Apologies. I don't know if you can actually hear him. I mean, I think you can hear him. He's pretty loud. But what are you gonna do? Right? They're like kids. Can you really stop them from yakking? Sorry. Kuan Yin. Oh, this is a good one for you, Taurus. Grab the book. Kuan Yin. Here you go. Compassion and empathy. Kuan Yin is an Asian deity of mercy and compassion. Her name literally means observing the cries of the world. She's busy these days, isn't she? She sits in the center of a mandala and can see every point of view at once. The action this card asks of you is to find a more transcendent perspective. Realize that when we make judgments or harsh criticisms towards ourselves or others, we are likely not taking the full story into account. We've all suffered, and when we are doing well, it isn't always easy to remember what it felt like during our rocky phases. We must try to recall the details, including all the sorrows and pain and the courage involved in making a change. This allows us to increase our empathy and gain wisdom. Kuan Yin. That's the story, morning glories. All right. Take care of yourself. It's we're in challenging times. The weather challenges us, the politics challenges us, the energies challenge us. Take care of your physical body. If there has been a tower moment in your life that has shook you to your very core, know that there are plenty of people who are willing to help. You just have to reach your hand out and accept. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great month, and I'll see you again next month. Namaste.